Happy Valley Thursday night, massive 10-race program. Paul Lally is here with selections for all 10 C+3 and the first race is at 6:10 local time. It is a Class 5. Speedy Smarty's on the class drop, as is Flying Dragon. He wears a tongue tie for the first time. Fairy Horse has pacifiers going on. Hero Star has cheek pieces once again. Circuit 10, no hood, no pacifiers for him. Speedy Chariot hasn't had too much luck lately, and E-Glory has a better draw of barrier number 2, Paul.
Yeah, look, Hero Star, he's easy. We like him. He goes straight to the front normally. Cheek pieces in from a low draw. He should lead. Speedy Smarty, he's drawn nicely in barrier 1. He's going to place himself right behind the leader, I think, E-Glory. The concentration's led, but normally over a lot longer. Super Charizard sat a lot handier when he did win his race. Wood on Fire, now he could do it tough from barrier number 10. And Winning Heart from 12 might have to go all the way to the back.
He's in the first couple of replays too, is Winning Heart. He's doing everything, Paul, other than winning. This is 2 starts to go for Super Charizard, who's 1 spot in front of him at the turn and still 1 spot in front of him at the finish.
Yeah, look, the thing that worries me about Winning Heart is the draw. So he's going to be a lot further back than he was in this particular race. So that I'm going to leave him out, but I will put Super Charizard in from barrier 5. Zach Purton aboard. He should get every opportunity. He'll get his chance, I think, Super Charizard. So he goes in for me.
That is a good start for the grey. Winning Heart again here. We've spoken about him. Ever Smart 30s up outside the speed. Speedy Chariot and Fairy Horse make 4 out of this race replay. Yeah, Fairy Horse, I think he's going to have to go back as well. Unfortunately, from his draw, we've talked about Winning Heart as well. Ever Smart, barrier 9 is a little concern for me with him as well. So he just goes in on a minor line. Speedy Chariot coming down the outside. You can see him finishing off nicely enough there. Luke Ferraris rides him. He's been riding Super Charizard. Circuit 10, Paul's been racing over 1,000 and running on like an extra 200 metres is not going to be an issue for him. There he is, just clearing some traffic in the Browns leaves. Yeah, look, he goes in for me as well, because for that reason you've just mentioned, coming up to the 1,200, he has caught the eye, finishing off strongly at his recent racing. Change of gear, hood will come off him as well. He's got barrier 8, so he'll probably go back, but I can see him finishing off strongly, and I think the 1,200 will probably suit him at this stage. Good report for him. And the class dropper, Speedy Smarty. This is his last start, 4th behind Beauty Light. Draws barrier number 1. Jerry Chow off a great day at Sha Tin. And the Benno Jung stables had plenty of winners in recent meetings. Yeah, so he drew 12 here to go all the way back. I reckon he'll sit just behind the leader, because he normally, when he did win his race off a 52 rating, he had to go, he sat really handy, and I think from barrier 1 you're going to see a really good run, and he was actually held up a little bit late. I quite like him in this. He was snatched up there, as you saw. So race 1, number 1. Yeah, we'll make it easy as that. Race 1, number 1 on the bumper card here. He's on top from Super Charizard, circuit 10. I did talk about Ever Smart there as well. He wasn't in that replay, but I think he can run on strongly as well. 1, 5, 9 and 3. And that is the preview for the first at Happy Valley, and the Jerry Chow run from Sha Tin to continue into Thursday night. Race number 2 is a Class 4, and this race is over the 1,000 metres. Lean Master's been knocking on the door. Beauty Thunder is on the class drop. Cheek pieces come off. Bit Superstar back in distance. Chill Master and Club Ace both on debut. Happy Tango's a 2-time course and distance winner. Parents Lovers racing well, and it's a wider draw down the bottom for Super 60. We've got Parents Love straight to the front here, Paul. Likes the lead. Look, Kane Resilience led last time, but from barrier 9, he's drawn nicely in barrier 3, so I think he just sort of had to go on with it, so he wasn't wide. Happy Tango, he's another one that likes to go forward, might just have to work to get across. Not the silly one, drawn the inside. Club Ace, he should get a nice run on debut. Bit Superstar, he's going to be looking for cover, and Super 60 is going to have to go all the way back from his draw. David Hayes is our man. He trains Kaying Resilience, and here he is with Nick.
David Hayes, race 2 looks thoroughly intriguing. There's a couple of newcomers in there, but you've got a racehorse by the name of Kaying Resilience. We know that the Kaying prefix and your stable go very well together. How is this horse coming into this run at Happy Valley? He's looked good so far.
Yeah, look, he hasn't won, but he's never run a bad race, and just sets up like he should suit the Valley. I took him there for a trial one day and he went under the gates, so he's never actually been there. he went freestyle around the course, but I think he's well drawn. He's very fit. He's in good form. He's only a 3-year-old, but I think his wins are about to start happening.
He's an on-pace runner, so drawn in barrier number 3. I mean, it probably makes Zach's life that little bit simpler, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah. No one rides a valley better than Zach, and he's got a fast horse with a good barrier, so I'm expecting a good run.
He's by Blue Point. Have you had much to do with the Blue Point? I mean, they've been all the rage in the last sort of season or so, haven't they?
Yes, but I haven't had much to do with them, but if Trackwork's any guide, he's a pretty smart horse.
I mentioned at the top of this interview that there are newcomers in there, etc., and 1 or 2 horses that might be sort of lacking for form. With total respect to them, this does look a good opportunity for your horse, doesn't it, really?
It does. He's a bit streetwise now. He's had a few runs and a lot of trials, so I don't think the valley will cause too much trouble. And as you said, a good barrier, so should run well.
To use a sort of a dart analogy, you're throwing plenty at the board at this meeting, David. Obviously, there are plenty of races to have a go at. You've got a nice, strong team overall, haven't you, going out, including good old Red Majesty down in grade?
Yeah, look, he's a pretty smart Class 4 horse, and he's been running well, and he's just dropped back to Class 4. So he's got a lot of weight, but he's done it before, and Bowman should give him a nice run. So I'm expecting he always runs well in Class 4.
You should be confident overall that they will all perform well. I mean, they all look to be in form, don't they?
Yeah, we're happy and might have a bet in the Trainers' Challenge.
There he is, David Hayes, with Nick on a number of his runners. Lean Master Paul has been consistent. Parents Love is too. This was back up in Class 4 for him last time, and Super 60 makes some late ground.
Yeah, just a draw, a little bit of a worry for him. Lean Master, he's so consistent. He goes in, he's just got to carry the big weight. And look, Parents Love, he gives you a sight in front all the time, and so he's going to go in as well. He might get a bit of pressure, but I think he's going to look like the winner at one stage, and he looked like the winner there with about 20 metres to go before he was collared.
He did. He ended up running 3rd in that replay. This old boy's going good races. Happy Tango. He just keeps on keeping on. He doesn't win this day, but he runs 3rd. Comes up here with barrier number 7, Angus Jung on board, and comes back to 1,000 metres.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a tricky draw, that 7, because he's got pace underneath him. Carrying Resilience likes to go forward, and I think Parents Love's got that superior speed as well. So he might just have to work to get there. But look, he's in good form at the moment. It's just the draw that put me off a little bit.
All right, no Happy Tango for you. Who are your top 4 for the second?
Going to go with Carrying Resilience. Let's hopefully he doesn't have a bad experience at Happy Valley like he did that trial morning, but I think he can win. He's had a good look around the track anyway. Parents Love, he'll be there. Catch him if you can. Lean Master. And I'm going to put Club Ace in the first starter. He's had 7 trials to get him ready. Haven't minded a couple of his trials, and he's drawn nicely in barrier 2. 5917.
Oh, that impressive Chung Fa trial. It's Carrying Resilience for Paul on top to win race number 2. Mars Handicap is the 3rd race, 2,200 metre Class 3. This one, Natural Storm has a pretty good record this trip. He's never missed a top 4. Rocket Spade's a last start winner, carries an extra £2. So We Sing makes his Happy Valley debut. Noisy Boy has a tongue tie going on. Stella Grande has had 10 trials across 3 different stables ahead of his first start. Sharp and Bright's won 2 from 3 course and distance, and Winning Steps. He's yet to win at 2,200 metres, but he has placed at the trip, and it's an easy one for the speed map leader here, Paul.
Yeah, Frank Tank should lead. California Voce went forward in a 1,200 metre trial recently, and look, I think he from a barrier 1 he can position nicely. Sharp and Bright, this is his go in at the 2,200 metres. He'll be right there. So We Sing steps up and trip. Noisy Boy, Stella Grande, the debutante, then Winning Steps, and the other 3.
We head to an interview Nick has done with the rider of Rocket Spade. It's Hugh Bowman.
Hugh, Happy Valley coming up on Boxing Day. You're going to ride a horse you seemingly have quite the affinity with, Rocket Spade. He got up late in the piece last time, and he obviously got another win on the board. Must have been pleasing for you and all concerned.
Yeah, it's always nice to win, and look, he's a horse that's got an ultra consistent record. He races particularly well at Happy Valley, and yeah, he looks well in the race again. So from sort of a middle to outside draw won't affect him too much. There's a couple of forward running horses in the race, so the pace will be genuine, I would imagine, and that'll suit him coming from back.
It's interesting you mentioned the pace. Of course, it's a new proposition for him over 2,200 metres. I guess the sort of, for me, perhaps the burning question is sort of having that tactical speed and awareness in a race like this. We know they can be sort of muddlingly run races at times. Is he the type of horse that you always thought maybe could get this distance around here?
Well, he's a very relaxed horse and his racing style suits it. I think, just looking briefly at the field, that I'd be surprised if I was a muddly run race with a horse like California Vose, for instance. He likes to gallop along, and that's his asset, is doing that. Frankenack also is a forward-running horse. So, look, I don't particularly need a fast speed, but just a nice even run race will be the key to this horse's chances of, or would be a huge asset to him over this sort of distance.
You're looking to win a third race on him. Just going back to the weekend, a horse that did manage to line up 3 on the bounce was Joyful Prosperity over a similar sort of trip. He's doing a super job, isn't he?
Well, now that he's got to a distance of his liking, I mean, I know he got himself down to Class 5, but his horse had a bit to do with when he started his racing as a Griffin, and he always felt as though he was a horse with better than Class 4 ability, and we're now seeing that it's taking him quite a while to put it together, but it's of no surprise to me to see him racing the form that he is, and he was very courageous on the weekend. When the challenges came, he fought very hard, so I'm sure there'll be another nice race for him in the near future.
That was Nick with you just before he put the little handkerchief over the face and went to Rob's a stagecoach too at the Shartin trials this morning. Friend Tank Paul, 2,200 metre horse. It's not the first horse you think of when you think of 2,200 metres.
No, look, he should lead. There's no question. It just depends what California Voce does from 1, but from Barrier 5, he should get there, sitting over the distance. It's a big step up from 1,650 to 2,200 metres. He is by Frankel, so there's plenty of sort of stain blood there, but yeah, I wasn't so sure, so I just wanted to watch him the first time over the 2,200.
There he is fading out. Soleil Fighter will run later in the program. So that's race number 3. Tactically interesting 2,200 metre race.
Yeah, look, I like Rocket Spade though. Look, he did win a Group 1 race in New Zealand, the New Zealand Derby, over 2,400 before he got here. So 22 is going to be absolutely no problem for him. And he has been consistent. He's had 28 starts here, but has been placed 10 of them. And he did arrive in the 80 ratings. He's only at 72 at the moment. So I think he can win sharp and bright, always puts himself there. Winning Steps is an out-and-out stayer. And California Voce trialled well over a shorter distance and should get a nice run from Barrier 1. 3-8-10-2.
And the third race is the first leg of the early treble. And the fourth race is a Class 4 and it's over the 1,200 metres with High Percentage having had 2 trials since his last start. Prime Mortar, a 3-time course and distance winner. Excellent Peers can one up that. He's a 4-time course and distance winner. Harmony and Home comes back in distance. Young Horizon, all his wins so far, Class 5. 1,400 metres at Shartin. Telecom Power better last time. Mr. Valiant has the tongue tie going on and is now with David Eustace. And Crystal Powerful has had 2 runs back for a 3rd and a 4th. Paul with Northern Fireball leading. You
get a nice lead, Northern Fireball from barrier number 2. He's looked good at Shartin. He's only had the 1 start at Happy Valley and did run 3rd behind Fatal Blow. Vigor Elegance led once, but it didn't really work out for him. Mr. Valiant can go forward. Prime Mortar, he likes to go forward. Crystal Powerful will need a little bit of luck from his wide draw, but he should be able to get some cover. Meep should get a nice enough run now. High Percentage used to go forward, but he's gone back in his recent races, and barrier 10, I think he'll go back once again.
Here is a Crystal Powerful, and this is last time where he ended up running 3rd, Prime Mortar 4th, and Excellent Peers. He's just not going well, Excellent Peers. He's a 33-start 7-year-old now, but just struggling a bit.
He seems to, doesn't he? So I want to see if he can recapture some form. Prime Mortar, I'm just worried about the draw there. Look, Crystal Powerful is probably the one, well, is the one I'm going to put in here. He just needs some luck from a wide draw, but I like the way he stayed on nicely enough here in this race, and he did manage to get his nose in front there for 3rd.
That's our first replay. Second one, and this was a far improved Telecom Power who runs on well for 2nd. He's been back to the trial since, and his trial was good. So has he done enough in this run and at the trials to impress you?
Well, look, I did actually put him in this day. I thought this was the right race for him as well. I think this race is slightly harder for him, but he is starting to reach a bit of form now as well. So, look, he was right on the cusp for me in the end. I didn't quite get him in, but from barrier 3, I wouldn't be surprised if he raced well once again.
Young Horizon, he ends up running 6th in this. Meep, he finishes down the track, but he covered plenty of ground. The Coyote might have got him here because he knocked up Meep. That's how much ground he covered. What of his chances, and also Young Horizon? Can he win one in this grade?
Well, I've got Young Horizon in on a very minor line. Look, he has run well at Happy Valley in the past, but as you mentioned, his wins have in Class 5. I'm going to put Meep in as well. Look, this horse, his best run is probably his debut run when he ran really nicely. I think the 1,200 metres from barrier 5 will suit Meep. There are clear excuses in this race. And John Sizer's horses are just hitting form at the right time.
They sure are. Now, you were with Fireball on the weekend, who won at good money. Northern Fireball will wear the same colours, and then Fireball's running again on the 29th, so it can be Fireball, Northern and Fireball.
Well, I definitely like Northern Fireball in this. Barrier number 2 is Zach Burton aboard. I think he'll lead and dictate from the front. His run at Happy Valley was good behind Fatal Blow, and look, and he drew 11 on that occasion. So from barrier number 2, he should be able to use no petrol, get to the front, and dictate nicely and kick off the turn and win. So, yeah, I do like Northern Fireball on this.
Easy as that. And that is Car-Ying Resilience winning that trial too, so we can get a gauge on the format of that trial in race number 2. But Fireball, Northern Fireball, it doesn't matter, you're all over them.
Love a Fireball. So he's on top there. Northern Fireball will take him. We're waiting for Southern Fireball to turn up. Meep been there for second. Crystal Powerful and Young Horizon, we covered those ones. 5, 7, 12 and 8.
Northern Fireball on top for Paul to win race number 4, the first leg of the Triple Trio. Race number 5, now the Saturn Handicap as we continue around the solar system. Class 4 over the 1650. Red Majesty's on the class drop. And Viva Graciousness, a last start winner, carries an extra £1 for it. Same about Turin Warrior. We've got Classic Century with the blinkers going on. Devil Dom has the blinkers coming off. To Infinity is a 4-time course and distance winner, and Windicator Family is eligible for Class 5. Well, they tried again with Viva Graciousness, Paul.
They worked really well last time. I think that's the key to the horse, just go straight to the front. And Happy Valley obviously is really good for this horse because he's had 4 starts for a win in a second. A Classic Century can put himself right there. I thought Handsome Bomb will give himself an opportunity from barrier 2. Tradition, Devil Dom, Red Majesty. Now he's drawn a bit awkwardly, so he just might be a little bit further back from barrier 8. Happy Trio and the other 3 will have to go back. Turin Warrior won his second start last time after 34. He might have to go to the back, see if he can put 2 together.
And here it is, that second win, which is courtesy of the ride by Zach Burton, who is the man that gets him home. Is he capable of going back-to-back, or are you just worried that he's so spaced in his wins?
Yeah, spaced in his wins worries me a little bit with him. Classic Century was a good run, I thought. I thought Handsome Bomb's going to run a lot better from barrier number 2. He did draw out in barrier 9, and he was wide the whole way. So he's going to get his opportunity. It was just a perfect ride that got this horse home. So, yeah, I'm not sure if he can do it again tomorrow. There's a couple of others out of that race that I quite liked.
All right. Viva Graciousness, you mentioned last time in the speed map what he did. Here is the victory. Again, a bit like Turin Warrior. Is he capable of going back-to-back?
I think he is. I think they found he's only had 4 goes at Happy Valley. This was the 14th start to win, but they changed the tactics. They went straight to the front. This is the C+3 course. He looks the only leader in the race. I can see him doing this again, kicking off the turn. Northern Fireball in the previous doing the same. So, yeah, I think he's a chance. He did sit up on him in the end, but you could see he was a little bit pushed out. But barrier 1, he's going to get a nice run.
That's a good report, Viva Graciousness. And what about Red Majesty? We know him around Happy Valley. He's a 9-time winner over the 1650. Didn't look too bad in this recent 1,000 metre trial, albeit with one of the apprentices on.
Yeah, 135 barrier 8. That was just a little concern I've got. He has carried weight in the past. He's a 4-time winner in the grade. So, look, I've left him out. But, again, if he wins, it's not going to be a massive shock if he does. But barrier 8, I just thought he might be a little bit further back than he would like.
Hugh Bowman takes the ride on him for David Hayes. But you've already told us that Viva Graciousness will be first out and first home.
Well, I hope so. That's the plan anyway. Straight to the front for Viva Graciousness on the C+3 course. Put Classic Century in there for second. It was a good run from him, and he's drawn nicely in barrier 4. He'll put himself on the pace. I thought Handsome Bomb can sit just behind the pace, so it's a real sort of pace-dominated race for me, this one. 2, 6, 3, and then 2 Infinity, the one running on. He's very consistent. 2, 6, 3 and 10.
That is the preview for race number 5, and being a 10-race program, it is the first leg of 6 up. Race number 6 preview time now, and Paul's very keen on one here. We've got Sky Forever at the top of the book on the class drop. Happy Day has the visor off. Top time, an extra £3 on his last start second. Exuberance, a 3-time course and distance winner. Storm Runner raced on Sunday and ran on well. Lucky Generations, best run in Hong Kong last time. Gimme 5 has placed 3 from 8 course and distance. And Glory B has the hood being removed. Sweet Diamond, the leader, Paul.
Yeah, I think he can lead, Sweet Diamond. Give me 5. The Gippy went forward last time. There was a lot of money for him as well. So I think they'll try and go forward with him again. View of the World. Zeta Force was a good debut from him. Storm Runner, as you mentioned, was running on. Lucky Generation, Sky Forever, Glory B. Top time ran well when he went back, and Happy Day from barrier 10. I thought he might go back as well.
And here is a top time. Just a bit of greenness and immaturity's probably cost him the race here, Paul. If he goes straight, he wins this, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. Look, he got really wide, and look, the only little concern I've got is it's the C+3 course, and he does get back, but he's got a really good turn of foot here. Here he's going to run about 4th or 5th, and then suddenly the afterburners went on it. But as they went on, he kept running in, and if he'd gone straight, I've got no doubt he would have won. So I think he can win this.
That is the on-top selection for sure for Paul. So we're playing minors here. In our first replay, we've got Sweet Diamond, Zeta Force, Happy Day and Give Me 5. This race is race 216. We'll see Zeta Force's trial after this shortly too, because it wasn't too bad.
I think he's the biggest danger, Zeta Force. It was a really good debut run for him. He did run 5th, and you can see him coming through the inside, and he finished off really strongly. He's going to learn a lot from this. He had to go back to the inside as well, and there wasn't too much room there for him. I like the runner Give Me 5 coming wide as well, so both those two are good.
Here is at the trial for Zeta Force. It's up at Chung Fa, and we've got View of the World in this. Storm Runner ends up running 7th. The further they went on Sunday, the better he looked, Storm Runner, but he's coming back in distance.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a concern for me. So he won't go in. I'm going to put View of the World in. I liked his trial, and he's coming here to Happy Valley, so we'll see how he handles it. But he has drawn barrier number 1, so we should get a lovely run. And you can see the other horse, that Zeta Force, finishing off strongly on the inside. So both those two horses are good chances for me.
Go. There's a breakdown of those that are all going to be chasing if things go to plan. Top time this week, who was so good last time.
He was. I think we've covered all 4 of my selections quite well in this race, with the top time, Zeta Force, View of the World coming out of the same trial, and Give Me 5 coming out of that same race as Zeta Force. 4, 7, 3, 10.
Paul with Keegan DeMillo for Chris So to win race number 6. Race number 7 now. Informed Horse goes around in this race, and that is Prince Alex. But it's a Class 4 over the 1650. Big Red is second up. Prince Alex extra £6 for his last start win. Corleone, he placed his only time over the 1650. New stable for Embraces. Team Happy has the tongue tie going on. We have got Wame Waiwai, who's been back to the trials since his last start. Nyland Golden raced wide last time. He's stepping up in distance to this trip for the first time also, Paul.
When I did the speed map, I had to take a double look a couple of times, because Island Golden and Team Happy are both 1200 metre horses, both stepping up to 1650. I kept looking back, have I got the right distance for this one? Because they both like to lead, so I think they're going to go forward and share the pace here. Wame Waiwai did lead over the longer trip last time. Big Red's drawn nicely in barrier 2. Fashion Legends, another one who likes to go forward. Corleone, again, he goes forward. But with these 1200 metre horses in the race, I think he'll just try and take some cover there. Smart City, another one who does go forward over 1650, but barrier 9 with a bit of speed, and I just wonder if they'll try hold up tactics with him.
We're heading to Nick now with the rider of the Informed Prince Alex. It is Harry Bentley.
Harry Bentley, race 7, you're going to ride Prince Alex, a horse who's really found some form, and well, I know you had to relinquish the ride last time due to it being an IJC leg, but I'm sure you were pleased to see him win nevertheless.
Yeah, it was great to see him get his head in front again. It's nice that he's just been able to put a couple of wins together, and clearly he's got a little bit of confidence now.
You would have always expected that, wouldn't you? I mean, we spoke about this horse perhaps a little while ago before he won, and I mean, you gave him a daring ride one day and he so nearly pulled it off, but he seems to have put it all together now.
He does. I mean, I think he was always promising to get his head in front, and he just wants a good pace really to aim at, and he's got a strong finish, and he certainly stays the distance well, so it was no surprise that he's put those two together.
He's boxed down on the inside in gate number 1. Just looking at the race on paper, I mean, if you did get that pace, is that a good place to be drawn for a horse like him?
Yeah, I think so. He is a straightforward ride. As I say, I just don't want them jamming up and going too slow in front, but if he's got something to aim at pace-wise, then 1 is a good draw for him.
One noticeable, Harry, I thought last time, just watching the replay of his win when James rode him, was that he was very genuine, very honest, kept giving to the line, didn't he? He's a sort of hardy horse. Probably the harder you go with him, the harder he sort of gives you, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right. And I think if he's got something pushing him along, it certainly helps him. So yeah, he's got good attitude, and that's always a positive for a jockey.
Corleone is our next replay. Paul, here he is running, placing last time behind Youth Power. He hasn't been here for too long. Happy Universe would improve. We did see on the speed map, though, that he might have to cover some ground from his draw.
Yeah, he could get cover, though, and I think Hugh Bowman will be trying to slot him in there, and if he does, I think he's going to be really tough to beat, because the further the better for him. He looks like a bit of a star. The 1650 all but won this race from barrier 7, so he only goes out 1 spot to barrier number 8. It's just that there's that pace underneath him, but the pace might help him because they might sort of spread out a little bit.
Which could be the case for this horse too, Paul. Smart City. Now, he's going back in the replay here, so he's not going to get the perfect trip that he got in this race, but his last few runs in Class 4 have certainly been by far the best since he's been here.
Yeah, look, he's drew 4 here and he got that perfect run, didn't he? And it was a good run from him. It's just barrier 9 where he's going to end up with, because there is speed with these 1200 metre horses in the race that are stepping up for trip for the first time. So that was my little concern with Smart City, just the barrier.
We'll wait till he gets a better draw. Smart City, who are we not waiting for?
Going to go with Corleone. Well, now he's drawn 8, but we'll take a chance with Corleone. I think he can slot in. Now Big Red, doesn't normally do too much first and second up because he's a big strong horse, and he normally takes a bit of racing. But from barrier number 2, I think he's going to get that perfect run. Prince Alex, we heard from there as well. He's on a really good run of form at the moment, going for a hat-trick. And Embraces, we'll see how he goes with the new stable. 5-1-3-6.
Paul with Bowman and Founds to strike by winning race 7 with Corleone. Staying at the 1650 for race number 8, and it's a Class 4 event also. Harmony Galaxy was placed course and distance 2 runs ago. Lucky Touch, he won 2 starts back over the 1650. Highland Rahi has the cheek pieces off, blinkers on as he comes back on turf. Good first up. He's had 6 trials. Youth Power last start winner carries an extra £7. Both Gale Saga and the Azure were winners in Class 5 last time. Amazing Award was making some ground in a recent trial, and You're My Everything steps up in trip from the 12 to the 1650 metres for this one. Charming Steed, second run back from a break, Paul leads.
Yeah, he should get a lovely run from inside draw, go straight to the front. Gale Saga, he comes back into the race. Highland Rahi's got blinkers on for the first time. Good Youth Power, last start winner. Golden Darcy, a little bit unlucky at his last start. The Jura, last start winner, Class 5. Lucky Touch, and You're My Everything goes back, as does Phantom Cyclone. Harmony Galaxy, barrier 12, a bit tricky for him.
We do start with Youth Power, who's now a Class 4 winner, one in Class 5 a few starts before this one. Lucky Touch runs 4th, but we'll start with Youth Power. Paul, he seems to go his best races when he gets a good draw, and he's drawn 3. Yeah,
so look, I'm going to put Youth Power in. He's won 2 of his last 3. There was a little bit of a blip in between those 2, but look, he shows he's more than capable here in Class 4, and I don't mind Corleone in the previous race, so he'll go in. And Lucky Touch is going to go in as well. I mean, it was a strong win from him 2 starts ago. Again, it's just a bit of an awkward draw he's got to overcome.
Next up, we go to Golden Darcy, who's been lurking not too far away in all of his runs this time in. Ends up running 5th in this replay. Charming Steed, he fades out of it to run 12th. So much so he's been back to the trials following that race.
I don't mind Golden Darcy in this race. He's getting there, Golden Darcy. I don't know what his right distance is because they have been sort of trying him at different distances, but he's a full brother to a Derby winner, although that was stretched out to 2,000 metres for Sky Darcy. But 1,600 metres was Sky Darcy's best distance, and look, it was a good run. He was snatched up a little bit late there too.
You has been in your numbers quite a few times around Happy Valley, and he was when he won in Class 5 over the 1650 last start. That's many thanks forever, who's a couple of spots in front of him, and he's a recent Class 5 winner. Do you go again up in grade?
We're going to put him in, not on top. I think, look, he's been placed in Class 4 before, so he's more than capable in Class 4, I think. But look, this is a lot easier, this race, and he did manage to stave off Invincible Missile, who ran it well again on the weekend. So look, he goes in, but not on top.
Where does he figure in the first four?
I'm going to put him in for third, actually. I'm going to go with Sky. I was going to say Sky Darcy. He'd win this race. I'll go with his brother, Golden Darcy, on top to beat Lucky Touch, the Azure, and Youth Power. 11, 2, 8, and 6.
And that is the preview for race number 8. It's the first leg of the late treble. And race number 9, now the second last, is a Class 3. It's over the 1,200 metres. Nordic Dragon has the blinkers off. Aurora Lady, last start winner, carries an extra £9. All Greek to me, cheek pieces again. Beauty Destiny, Gallant Valor up in grade with wins next to their name. Young Arrow has the cheek pieces going on. Sergeant Pepper was a Class 4 winner up in class from last time. It's All Greek to me, crossing from out wide Paul to lead.
Yeah, he's got really good pace over 1,000, so no worries, 1,200. Flying Fortress, Aurora Lady, they'll come across here. They might have to work because Bright Day might just make it a little bit tricky for them to cross, but I think they will eventually cross. Sergeant Pepper likes to go forward. Prawns 11, he's got a nice draw. Golden Empire. Nordic Dragon, he has led in the past, Nordic Dragon, but he hasn't really got the speed for this. Barrier number 5, he should be able to go back. And the other 3 go back as well.
We are heading straight to Nick with Pierre Ong, the trainer of Aurora Lady.
Pierre Ong, we've got a really busy card coming up on Boxing Day. Race 9, you're going to saddle Aurora Lady. Let's reflect on the win at IJC, shall we? That was a super win from a wide draw under Mikel Barcelona.
Yeah, last time it was very impressive. I thought we were going to get a better draw this time. Still drawn 9. There's very, very fast-paced horse in the race, so I think we just sit off him and try to do it again.
Of course, the natural decision was to get Zach back on board. This horse bolted up for Zach a little while ago, didn't he? So he certainly knows the horse well.
Yeah, he definitely knows it well. Only that we went to IJC and this time the schedule fits, so hopefully we can do it again.
How has he come out of the race, Pierre? Obviously, because it was a tough race that night, I suppose, and he's come out of the race well.
It was a tough run. He put up pretty well, and he given time 3 weeks to this run, so he'll be ready for that.
This is only his 10th start, Pierre, so he's certainly improving at a decent rate of knots, isn't he, this guy?
Yeah, sometimes this type of horses just take it slowly to improve by runs. So hopefully he can go further up in the ratings.
There is Pierre. We move on now, Paul, to Prawns 11. We're going back 2 starts ago because he raced on a rain-affected track last time. That's not going to be the case at Happy Valley on Boxing Night. This is Brave Star, who's been very hard to beat this time in beating him home here.
Yeah, nice run from Prawns 11. Yeah, a little bit disappointing last time, but you can put it down to that wet track. And he does seem to like it here at Happy Valley. Finished off strongly once again here. Again, he was on the cusp for me, but just from barrier 2, he should get a nice enough run as well.
That is Prawns 11. Now on to some Class 4 winners, or at least one of them. We start with Beauty Destiny, who took a while, But now he's on the winning rampage. Much harder for him, but he comes up in grade full of confidence.
Always had the ability, this horse, there's no question. Was more of a head issue for him because he used to get to the front, gawk around, wish his tail, swish his tail. But you can see he's putting it all together nicely. There's still a little bit of a intent there to swish the tail, but he was so far clear and he's got raw ability, there's no doubt. It's starting to come together now for him.
It sure is. He hasn't been here that long. He's only had, he's had 14 starts now, so he has been a bit longer than you think. Nordic Dragon, Paul, is he capable of bouncing back in a race like this one? He's got the blinkers coming off. He's drawn barrier number 5, 133 pounds, but very good record over the 1,200 metres.
I thought the trial was good with the blinkers off as well, so maybe that's what's needed. He's 1 off 84, so is he capable? Yes. He's down to a 76 rating. He's drawn nicely in barrier 5. He may be the forgotten horse in this race with Hugh Bowman going on Kairos Dragon. He had been riding him in his last few starts. And so, look, he might be a bit of a price. Might sneak under people's radars, so I don't mind him.
There he is off that trial at Sha Tin on the Your Weather. One person who he hasn't snuck under the radar of is you.
Yeah, I'm going to put him in on top. We'll see if we can get 9 or 10 to 1 about him. So he's on top. Beauty Destiny. Kairos Dragon's been in great form with two wins and 2 seconds in his last 4 starts. And Young Arrow trialled pretty well up at Chungfa recently, so put him in on the minor line. 1-7-2-10.
Race 9. No need to go past the 1 for Paul. Nordic Dragon to be victorious. Yes, 10 races, Happy Valley for the first time, so we need to preview the last. Now it's a Class 3, it's over the 1650, Gracious Express. Not only will there be a race 10 for the first time, it'll be his first time to Happy Valley. Unicorn has the hood coming off. Romantic Lau raced wide last time. Soleil Fighter carries an extra £5 for his last start win. Beato's had 2 trials between starts for him. And Our Lucky Glory staying at 1650. He's had 5 goes, just the 1/4 so far, but he runs on like the distance is going to suit Paul. But at the other end, it's Fortune Superstar in front.
Yeah, he likes to lead. Fortune Superstar. Soleil Fighter likes to go forward. Gracious Express coming here for the first time, but from barrier 1 he'll put himself on the pace. Comet Splendido, Hamron won't be too far away either.
Here is David Hayes with Nick on Soleil Fighter.
David, race 10 on Boxing Day. It's going to be a long old card, that's for sure. But you've got a horse by the name of Soleil Fighter. Came good at IJC. Cracking ride from Holly Doyle.
Really good ride from Holly, but he's a horse when he draws well. He's very competitive around the valley, and he's drawn well, so I'm hoping he can put a couple together.
You say that, I mean, it always looked likely from a few runs ago that he was certainly going to get that initial win, didn't it? I mean, he was always building up to this.
Yes, he's a UK import that took a bit of time to settle in and had splint problems. But now he's very sound and racing consistently. He's a nice, consistent horse.
How has he come out of the race, David? Obviously, we know those races on IJC are fiercely competitive. He seemed to take it well?
Yeah, he's taken it very well. He's thriving.
Got Hugh Bowman on as well, so no detriment there from gate number 6. Looks ideally enough placed?
Yeah, I think he'll give him a nice cosy run up on the pace, and he'll be hard to beat.
That's David Hayes on Soleil Fighter, Paul. This replay has Hammeron running 5th, Glorious Journey, who covered ground 8th, and Our Lucky Glory 11th. You watch him over 1,200 metres and you think he'll just go to 1650 and really trouble them.
Yeah, exactly, and he hasn't done it yet, but I think he's capable of. He just needs a bit of pace in the race, I think, and hopefully he'll get that. So of these 3, he's the one I'll take out, but just on a very minor line, because I think one day he's just going to go whoosh at 1650, but he didn't on this occasion.
One more to have a look at. It is the newcomer, Gracious Express, barrier number 1, 1650, out of a really strong race last time at Sha Tin. Draws barrier number 1 for Brenton Avdulla.
Okay, this is a lot easier than what he's been facing at Sha Tin. Never been to Happy Valley before, never trialled here, but he's drawn lovely in barrier number 1. He's going to get that perfect run just in behind. So, look, I think he's definitely going to get his chance. There's no my wish in this race, and I think he can win it. So, from a lovely draw, he should get a really nice run leading into it.
There he is running 4th, and My Wish beating steps ahead in that replay. So it's a form-strong race up against what he's up against on Thursday night.
Yeah, it's just how he handles the valley, but from an inside draw up to 1650, he should be okay. By Churchill, I think the 1650 would be ideal for him. Salil Fighter, we heard from David Hayes there, he should get a lovely run. He'll be tough to beat. Thirdicism, we saw him in those replays coming home really strongly, so he goes in for third, and we'll give our Lucky Glory a chance just on a minor line, but he still needs to prove it at the 1650. 1, 5, 7 and 12.
And that is the preview for Boxing Night at Happy Valley. 10 races, the first, yes, 6:10. The C+3 course in use, and Merry Christmas.